Okay, hi guys, my name is Zolaa. I have English band with me to write glorious commentary.
Yes, hello, how's it going?
Yeah,
Good?
so
Yeah, good? Alright, cool.
yeah, so this is Grand Theft Auto 3 thanks to your generous donations. We are going to be playing on the one-hit KO modifier. And well, I guess without further ado, we might start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
All right. GTA 3, fantastic game from the year 2001, as you probably know, or you don't. We need to like find some shelter, so we immediately enter this car. What am I doing actually?
Well, I mean, you know, you can drive and I can talk about some interesting stuff. All right, don't worry. So, if you're not sure about what OHKO is, and if you're probably going to join like 30 minutes in and ask again, so I'll probably remind you at different points. But as you can see on the top right of the screen, Zolaa only has 1 HP for the entire run. So it's any damage is death. So essentially, this is going to be as close to like a damageless run as you'll ever see, hopefully, assuming that everything goes out, well. Exactly. So it's very similar to an any percent run. It's just, a lot of riskier strategies. There needs to be new strategies that you can do instead. And it's just, basically a more skillful showcase, essentially, because, mistakes are way more punishing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So GTA 3 starts off pretty thick and fast in terms of strategies. So there's a bunch of different minor things, but the major thing that we need to talk about is on-mission manipulation. So the game has essentially 2 states for this example that I'm about to bring to you. And basically the easiest way to describe it is, that I like to use, is imagine a light switch. And whenever you're playing GTA 3, as soon as you start a mission, like Zolaa has just started Luigi's Girls, that light switch has now turned on. So the lights are on, and that means that Zolaa is on a mission. So Zolaa now can't start any more missions. They can't, start rampages or anything like that, because they're like busy. They're in a mission mode, and they can't do anything interesting like that. And then there is also on mission 0, which is the free roam mode, which essentially means that you can start other missions and things like that, because the game doesn't think that you're on a mission. And a big strategy in many GTA games, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware at this point, is on mission 0 manipulation, which basically means that you can manipulate the on mission 0 variable, so you can flick the light switch on or off at will, essentially. And that will be used later on to skip several different missions. It will be used to duplicate missions. It will be used to do all sorts of crazy stuff. But for now, these first couple of missions are pretty standard. They're very tutorial, esque. So there's a couple of things that we need to look out for. The main one is a taxi, because the taxi has a sort of remote switch that we can use to turn that light switch on or off. So whenever you go into a taxi and you press the taxi driver submission button, it's like a remote mission that you can toggle, and we'll be using that to sort of chain missions at the same time to set up a load of duplication and stuff like that later on.
Yeah, as well as I had to also record the replay in an alleyway, because that's where there's like a certain type of submission. Also, this is new. Entering cars the fast way.
Yeah.
That's called a mega jack or mega enter if you're not stealing a vehicle.
Yeah, there was a big debate in the Discord as to what it should be called, and mega jack was the one that people sort of ended up on. There was a bunch of really dumb names that I didn't like. I'm happy that mega jack is the one that people went with instead of papega enter and things like that. It was just dumb.
Yeah, so I also grabbed a pistol because it's going to be needed for like one mission. Where we will just like snipe a guy from like too far away.
Yeah, it's not a big time save, but it does skip an unskippable cutscene if you kill the guy before you would enter it. So it does save quite a bit of time if you can get an LE pistol. It's quite nice. So yeah, the replays, essentially how they work is Zolaa made a replay over a rampage, and rampages also count as missions in this game in terms of the on-missions variable. So if you start a rampage, and the rampages are just like kill frenzies, you have 2 minutes to kill X amount of people with X gun, and you have 2 minutes, you have unlimited ammo, just go nuts, basically. So those, once you're on a rampage, you can't start a mission because your on-missions variable is set to 1. So the light switch is on, you can't start other missions. But those can also be used to essentially time on-missions, manipulation. So if you've ever seen like Vice City runs, for example, there are loads of different ways to toggle the on-mission. The main one that we use in GTA 3 is rampages. So you'll see us start rampages at seemingly random times, but it's to basically make it so we can dupe missions later on. So we'll explain it as like a play-by-play as we go.
Yeah, right now I'm going to be looking for a police vehicle. It's for a certain setup I'm going to be doing that will help me to instantly pass a mission.
That is very nice. Just don't die to the cop. Yeah, you're good.
Playing
So-
a replay, letting go of the vigilante button, let's say the submission button, getting the info marker while I'm on the rampage, and now getting back into the police vehicle.
Yeah, so Vigilante and cop cars. Vigilante is the submission. It's the same as Taxi Driver that we mentioned before. It's the same thing. It's a remote toggle that we can use. So what Zola did is she held on to the button to start Vigilante, and then she played the replay, which then activated the rampage, and then let go of the button that started Vigilante. And what that basically did is it allows us to be on Vigilante and the rampage at the same time. So the game gets mega confused, and the variables all messed up. And then we can cancel Vigilante, which then puts us in a free roam state while the rampage is running, and then we can start other missions with the rampage running. So you might think to yourself, well, how does that benefit us? We're on a rampage right now, we have a big gun, but we're just driving around, so why does that matter? Well, the mission after this one actually is, we can skip it entirely, essentially, and it's a really long, annoying mission. So what you can do is there's a thing called insta-passing in this game, and I'm not going to go into insta-passing mega detailed because it's really code complicated stuff, and I'm not a geek, so I don't really know how it works. But essentially, if you start Myclipse's Last Lunch, which is the mission after this one that we have to do, while Vigilante is running, then you will just instantly complete the mission the second you start it. Yeah, Misty's trolling you, don't worry.
Yeah.
You still got plenty of time. So the way we're going to set that up is we're going to start the previous mission that you just saw while the rampage is running. And then as you see, the timer on the right-hand side is at about 30 seconds right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to time it. So we're going to finish this mission inside the cop car. Or we're going to be just outside it, excuse me. We're going to re-enter the cop car. And then we're going to start Vigilante. And then the rampage is going to run out, which then puts us on Vigilante, but our on-mission flag is set to 0. So the game thinks that we're not on a mission. So right now, we're on Vigilante, and the game thinks we're on a mission, so we can't start the mission. But as soon as the rampage timer runs out in just a few seconds, you'll see the mission marker will appear. There you go. And we are now starting Myclipse's Last Lunch with Vigilante running. And as you can see, the mission fails, but for reasons that we don't need to get into. But in reality, it's passed, and we can just go on to the next mission. So just like that, we've skipped an entire mission. And that saves like quite a few minutes, because that mission's quite long and annoying.
Yeah, this is the mission where the pistol we picked up previously will come in quite handy. I just need to like snipe the guy.
Yeah. So if you walk into
Like
this
this.
zone here, there is a cutscene that shows his position and, like kind of sets the scene a little bit. It's not super long, but if you can shoot him from outside, then you skip that cutscene as well. So, zoom, zoom.
That's true. Now on to Van Heist. A mission where I will need to like get a convoy vehicle. It's on a good path, that's good.
Yeah, there are two patterns in Van Heist. They're not a particularly big deal, but obviously it's never nice to lose time due to things that aren't your fault.
Oh.
So what Zola is going to do, yeah, don't get like even bonked by a car here, it's not good. So what you can do is you're intended to like ram into the car until the driver gets out at a certain health threshold. Because the van is bulletproof, so you can't shoot it even if you had a gun. And even if we do, we don't have that much weaponry anyway. So instead what we do is the vehicle isn't explosive proof. So we park our cop car at the right distance that if you park it too close, you will actually blow up the van and fail the mission. And if you park it too far away, you don't do enough damage. So you park it in a very specific way with a certain setup. And essentially what happens is we do enough damage to make the driver get out because it thinks we've collided with it enough and done enough damage. But then in reality, we just blow it up, get inside and drive it. And it skips having to chase it down, which is nice.
Yeah, I also left a taxi here in like a previous mission. So I can use it to like start a on mission 0 rampage.
Yeah. And this is going to be a setup for a kind of similar thing, but instead of insta-passing, we're going to be doing a thing called dupe and failing. So essentially how dupe and fails work is we're going to do this setup with the rampage, but instead of like starting Vigilante during a mission, we are going to set it up so we're going to start the next mission once, and then the rampage is going to run out, which is going to put us in free roam mode again, which means that we can then start the mission a second time if we wish. So we start the mission a second time, and then we have 2 instances of the mission running. And you might think again, well, why is that particularly useful? In some missions, it actually allows us to skip it in a completely different way. So this next mission that we have to do, our sole objective is to destroy 3 vans that are driving around in the city. So if you pass or fail that mission in any way, the game runs a script called Mission Cleanup. And basically what happens is it's like an internal thing that runs to clean up any assets to do with that mission, because obviously there's no point in having the vans on the map if you're not on the mission, right? That makes perfect sense. Right? It all makes perfect sense. Good. I'm glad you're with me so far. So If that cleanup runs at any point, it will despawn the vans. But what we can do is, because we've started the mission twice, well, we haven't yet, but we're going to start the mission twice. Zola's just making a replay here. This is the same replay that we made earlier. It might be a bit confusing because we're in a different place, but yeah. So we're going to start the mission twice, and then we're just going to death warp straight away. And what happens is we're going to fail the first instance of the mission because we died. And when you die, you fail a mission. And then what happens is the mission, the game goes, oh, you failed the mission, so I'm going to run mission cleanup. But we actually have a second instance of the mission running in the background, and because all the vans have been despawned or destroyed as far as the game is concerned, due to that mission cleanup script running, it actually passes the second instance of the mission because the vans are destroyed, mission passed, and we're not dead. So, yeah. It's a little complicated to explain, but you'll see it in real time here. So we start the mission, and then the rampage timer is running out, as you can see. The rampage timer runs out, so rampage failed. We start the mission a second time, and then we death warp.
Oh, okay, I'll do that
and then
not
we
the fancy way.
Death warp, and then we death warp,
Now
and then we death warp, and then the mission passes. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Now I
Impossible
need to
trick.
find a car.
Yeah.
It can be any car. It can be this locked ambulance. I'll take the banana because it's just that good.
Yeah.
So if you're familiar with like regular any % runs, I would really need this taxi in front of me. But because this is not regular any %, this is one hit KO. I'm just gonna hit this lamppost. It's for energy manipulations.
Absolutely. Yeah. Same with that missed 3 death warps as well.
Yeah,
so
that's true. And I'm going to acquire a gun that I can do a drive-by with. So I can just point to the side, and then when I press the fire button, I will just shoot. That makes perfect sense. Now
Yes.
I'm on my way to see this road rage, and as well pick up a fire truck. That's going to be very essential during the next Instapass.
Yeah, so this setup is quite a long one. Usually you would do it in a very particular way. So you would start the rampage as soon as possible, and then you would do all the setup within the 2 minutes of that rampage. With one hit KO, that isn't really possible because the setup involves taking damage in certain places intentionally to gain time, and that isn't doable because we can't take any damage without dying. So instead, Zola is going to basically essentially look for, we're going to get the fire truck, which we need, and we also need a taxi. There is a fixed taxi spawn. If Zola gets lucky enough, we might be able to find one on the street, but otherwise there's a fixed spawn at the top of the hill. So it's not too far. But we need the fire truck and the taxi because we actually need, this is where it gets complicated, so bear with me here. So we talked about insta-passing before, right? If you start a mission A during another mission running, sometimes you'll crash the game, well, a lot of the time you'll crash the game, but sometimes you'll instantly pass the mission that you're trying to do. We're going to do that with Salvatore's Call to Meeting, which is the next Tony mission that we need to do. But the difference is that even though we know what the insta-pass is, so the insta-pass is with Taxi Driver. So if you start Salvatore's Call to Meeting with Taxi Driver running, you'll insta-pass it. Except that's not actually the true. So if you do it, the insta-pass works, but then because the models aren't loaded for the mission, it actually crashes the game anyway. Even though like everything lines up as it should, it crashes the game. So what you need to do is you need to start the mission and then like kill it or fail it somehow, and then start it a second time and then insta-pass it, because the models have been loaded previously, then the insta-pass works, right? So the way we do that is we do a kind of long setup during the previous mission, during this mission, which is the previous one to what we're going to do next. I'm butchering this, I'm sorry. It's a complicated one. So the pickup is the mission that we're on now. We need to insta-pass the next mission, right? So we're doing all the setup during this mission. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the end of the pickup. We're going to pass that mission. Oops. And then we're going to have on mission 0, right? Because we've just passed a mission, so that as far as the game is concerned, we've just completed it. Congratulations. And then we're going to start Firefighter, which is the fire truck one.
Okay.
Just be careful.
Not good.
Yeah, not good. Oh, there we go. That's fine.
Yeah, I have enough time to finish this mission.
Yeah, all good.
This is a very RNG element of the run because the triad fish one can like drive in every single direction.
Yeah, it's
at once.
Yeah. Yeah. So
this is why I like started the one mission 0 rampage really late to like give myself in more leeway.
Yeah, for sure. So Zola is going to finish the pickup, and we've done all the setup that we need to do. We've passed this mission, and the next one is what we need to insta-pass. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and start the next mission, and we need to cancel it somehow because otherwise the game will crash. So what you can do is you can actually start Firefighter, and then you can start the mission, and then activate Firefighter, and that kills the mission script entirely. But it doesn't crash the game or anything. So now that we've started the mission and we've loaded the models, now we can start Taxi Driver, and then the Rampage is going to run out. We're just going to put us on mission 0, but with Taxi Driver running, and that is how you do the Instapass. So that was all very well done. I'm sorry about my horrible explanation, but that requires a round of applause, because that is really hard to do. So as you can see, we started Salvatore's Call to Meeting, and then immediately skipped to Chaperone, like, you know, the mission wasn't even there. So yeah, very long, complicated setup. It's very difficult to describe, especially also when you can't take any damage. But yeah, that was masterfully done. Good job.
Thanks a lot. So in this mission, we only have to drive to a certain place, and there's nothing really much going on except for
mission's free.
Yeah. So we might throw it over for some donations.
That would be excellent. We have $5 here from DM, and it simply says, Fantastycznie. I've never spoken a word of Polish in my life. I hope that was correct.
Tak.
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 You got time for one more? Or?
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Cool. We also have $6 here from Grakiet saying, good luck, Zola, and hi to Polish team on ESA. You're all doing great, and I'm so happy to see you all here showing your amazing skills.
Tak.
Tak. One small note to the tech team, I can't hear the reader in my headphones.
Oh, well, just know that it was something that required you to say tak to. That's
okay.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes. As someone who speaks fluent Polish, I knew exactly what they said. Tak.
Tak.
Yes. So there is some small bit of manipulation that needs to go on here. So yeah, that guy needs to get wrecked. That's not true. He doesn't need to get wrecked. But this guy needs to get minorly wrecked. So we need to keep the fire truck in front that we were using for the previous thing.
Can I do it with a drive-by, maybe? I think I can.
Yeah.
He's looking at me.
Yeah, that seems to work.
Hopefully.
So this is also kind of complicated. So we need to explain a whole new system for this. So in GTA 3, you can have 2 maximum vehicles that are considered your vehicles, right? And let's say you have, vehicle 1 and vehicle 2, and then when you get into a third vehicle, the one that was vehicle 1 will despawn, because you can only have a maximum of 2, and it's in a priority list, right? So we had that fire truck all the way back then, and what we need to do is we need to keep that fire truck in our list, because we want to use it, and it would be slow to go and get it again for the next trick that we're going to use it for. So what you need to do is this limo that we're using is also going to get put in the list at some point. I forget exactly when, but it's going to get put in at some point. So what we need to do is we need to somehow despawn the limo and remove it from our vehicle list. So what Zola did is, what you can do is you can aggro somebody, and you can block the driver's side door, and when they are aggroed towards you but the door is blocked, for some odd reason, I don't know why, but it's probably some technical thing, it actually marks the vehicle for despawn. So when we go into this garage and we finish the mission, the vehicle is now gone from the list and the fire truck will stay. Otherwise, on this next mission, we're going to enter a taxi and that would kick the fire truck out. But instead, it's just going to be the taxi and the fire truck are going to be our next 2 things.
Okay, this next mission, usually you're supposed to mega jump right now to the taxi. But since we are kind of, we don't really can do that because we're going to lose damage, we have to sprint over there. Yeah. Now, this mission is on a timer if we want to finish it the way we want to, because there are 2 different ways you can finish this mission. You can either follow a guy or drive him to his meeting. So of course, since we are speedrunners, we want to try the faster method. But hopefully it's going to work, because normally you have to mega jump here, as I said previously, to the taxi, and you have way more time. Also, I'm going to record the replay on the rail tracks somewhere around. Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, so mega jumping is something that you can do that essentially allows you to launch Claude in a certain direction, just make him, it's called, a mega jump. I'm sure it's self-explanatory. And what you would usually do is you would start from the top of the stairs as soon as you go and do the mission, and you would mega jump all the way across to where the taxi is, and that would save you a lot of time on this timer. But instead, because we can't mega jump at all, then the actual time that you have before you pick up Curly Bob is a lot more tight. So that's a lot more difficult. Usually you have 10 seconds of leeway or something before you can pick him up, but there you only have a couple, so yeah. It's very important that you pick up Curly Bob, because as Zola was alluding to, If you don't, you have to tail the AI taxi driver that he will take the ride from, and they're very slow, whereas we can drive straight to the destination. So you essentially skip a tailing mission, which is very good, because tailing missions are boring and dumb and boring.
Agreed.
Yes.
So now we have to get rid of Curly Bob. Going to do it the old-fashioned GTA way, just running him over.
Yeah, splatting him.
Do you remember our fire truck that we left at Tony's place? Well, according to...
Hopefully it's still there.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be there. I mean, I saw the mafia guy being angry at me and shooting at me, so hopefully it is there. Oh.
No, it's not. Yeah, I think the fact that it went kind of wrong on Chaperone, I think.
Yeah.
It maybe didn't get marked at the same
It's
time.
okay because the backup is here.
Yeah, it's not a big deal because you can just drive and get the fire truck right here. It maybe like 10-15 seconds. It's not really a big deal. But yeah. Ultimately, there are far more things that can go wrong here.
Agreed.
Yeah. So now we're setting up for another dupe and fail, but we just started the rampage right away. So you might think to yourself like, oh, this is going to be really slow, right? Because we've got to wait 2 minutes. Well, no, we don't. So this rampage that Zola made a replay over on the train tracks is actually a destroy vehicles rampage. And when you start Firefighter while you're on the rampage, if you start and cancel it, it actually spawns and then destroys a vehicle when you fail the mission. So you can just spawn and destroy 9 vehicles and then start the mission and then blow up the fire truck, which is the 10th vehicle that you need to destroy, and then start the mission again, death warp, dupe and fail. Nice and easy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now
It's so easy, guys. Anyone can do it. Yeah.
That's true.
It's so easy when I'm sat in, my armchair expert. Yeah, it's so easy. Yeah.
So the next mission is Blowfish, where we have to drive a garbage truck to a certain place.
You died in this mission in your PB.
That's true. In the world record.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, Zola got 2 stars, and then the second she started this mission, a cop just shot her immediately and just instantly died.
Yeah.
The second, before she even had control, just dead immediately. That's the
true.
joys of OHKO for you.
Yeah, literally dead on arrival.
Yeah. So usually you would mega jump across to this place, but again, mega jumps take damage if you fall too far. So it's impossible to do the mega jumps here without taking some form of damage. So instead you just drive. It's not that much slower. The mega jumps probably only save 10 seconds or so.
Worth mentioning is that we still have the Ferris counter in the upper right corner. This is a leftover from Scam Instapass, and it's going to be there for until the end of the run, I believe.
Yeah.
So normally, in place of that Ferris counter, there would be a damage meter because we can't damage this truck too much. But
are you gonna do weather skip, by the way? Just because it's on time now.
Oh, I guess I should. Yeah.
Just sorry to interrupt. I just thought it might be a thing that you might want to do. Sorry, I'm backseating. Sorry.
So when you play a free F1 replay, a free replay, and then follow it up with F1 replays, you can skip weather cycles.
Yeah.
I never really paid attention to it up until I started getting rain on cutting the grass, the previous mission. And you can imagine it's way harder to make it on time when it's raining.
Yeah, it might not seem super impactful, the weather, but when you get fog during certain missions where you need to snipe people from far away and stuff like that, it can make the missions completely unplayable. And as Zola was saying, if you get rain in certain places, it's just awful. So what you can do is you can play replays at a certain time. And the way the weather works in the game is every 60 seconds, so at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., etc., it goes onto one next on the cycle, one increment of the cycle. But what you can do is you can skip over them. So if you know that rain is coming up in 2 minutes, and you can skip 3 minutes of weather, and then you'll move over the rain so you can avoid it entirely, which is really nice.
Okay, hopefully this ambulance is opened. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while I'm on my way to the next mission, we might as well throw it over again for some more donations.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much. I just want to start with a quick reminder for everyone that if you do donate, even though we have met all our incentives, you can still choose to tie your donations to any of our ongoing bid wars. So you could choose, for example, a character name for Dark Souls, which is coming up after this, or what blindfold, which the runner will wear during Celeste. But with that said, we have Zart Bitter here with a $101 donation. And the comment says, "Hi everyone, just wanted to say thank you to everyone involved in this wonderful event. Keep up the great work." Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, we have time for more.
Excellent, because 2D SVD has donated $25 saying GTA community has to donate, right? Absolutely, you do.
Yes,
Donate
including
for your
everyone
support.
behind us. You want it? 100 quid each right now. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not joking. All right, so Bomb the Base is usually a pretty free mission, but this is another mission that if you get the wrong weather, it can be very bad. Because if you get fog here, there are a lot of tricky snipes, and these are much harder to do in fog. So since Zola skipped through, we shouldn't get fog here, because it's usually not for like another 20 minutes or so, I think. So should be good.
Yeah. Trying to scrape off the door here. Something I learned from Computer Rage. Shoutouts to him.
Yeah, you can... it's a very minor thing, but if you knock the door off, you can actually like skip, having to open it and close it and stuff. So you can
Just like in real life, guys.
yeah, if you just snap it off. Yeah.
Okay, so
Also, if you break off like your wing mirrors and stuff, your car will go faster, right?
Right, totally.
Completely unrelated, but we just hit $69,000 raised for charity.
Nice.
Go.
So these snipes aren't too difficult, except one person, and they're look, which one is it? It's
This one.
Yeah, that one. Anyone? I'm blind, right? So I don't know about you, but I didn't even see anyone there. There's just like one pixel of somebody's head poking out, and if you don't shoot them, then 8-Ball will just run up and get killed. So yeah.
Hopefully I got them. I think so at least.
I think you should be good, yeah. And then also, if you're mega zoom, you can actually make a replay while the mission is ending, because we're on like a timer now before the mission ends. All good, nice.
Should be.
This has been a clean Portland so far.
Absolutely, except for that taxi spawn.
Oh yeah.
But it's really good time.
Yeah, it's
maybe
it's
faster
out of
than
your
world
control. Yeah. Like, at least you didn't die. So.
record. Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh my god, why did you say that? Yeah, so now we're onto like the last mission that we have to start in Portland. It's called Last Requests. The mission is
Big plot twist.
Yeah, and also it involves a certain GTA streamer's favorite car in an alleyway.
I forgot about that.
So yeah, starting the not getting it. Okay, I didn't
I think
get
you
it.
should be able to pick that up, right? Try
I'll
again.
try it again.
You might as well try it again. If not, there is a backup for this. So. But you're pretty close.
Now he's just standing there doing nothing. Okay, I'll just.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. There is another rampage that you can pick up if you miss this one or you don't make the replay, and it's literally just around here, around some garages. So not a big deal if you missed it. Yeah. You need a rampage here because we need to set up for a dupe and fail later on, and it works the same way that the 3 vans stuff works, which is just we need to kill a certain amount of people, and as soon as we do, the mission passes. So we're gonna do a dupe and fail to then essentially just we'll start the mission twice. The game thinks that we've killed them because we kill ourselves on this first one, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think I just felt too confident with this one.
Yeah.
It's not a major like time loss.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, cool. On to last request. How exciting.
Very exciting indeed.
Yeah. So this is like the big plot twist of the game, because we've been working for the Mafia the whole time under Salvatore Leone, and he says that we've got like one more job to do. Just we've capped someone, we've taken someone out, and the car is sat in an alleyway. Go and get rid of it. But if you get inside it, then there's actually a car bomb inside, and you do get told that the car is a bomb. It's a trap. On the pager on the top left, which we'll see in a second, that essentially says like it's a trap. Don't do it. So instead, we go to the boat. And if you're wondering why the screen's sort of flickering here, if you play a replay in GTA 3, it actually stops like the second ticking. So if you see at the top right, we're at 1917, and the clock isn't progressing at all. And the reason why that's so important is because the next mission that we're going to do is entirely dependent on the in-game clock. So the way it works is it takes your in-game time, and it rounds it up to the next hour, and then it adds 2.5 minutes, right? I think, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. And then that is when you can kill Salvatore Leone, which is the big thing, because he's betrayed us. We're going to go and kill him. So obviously, if you were to start the mission at like 5 past the hour, it would round it all the way up to the next hour, then add 2.5 minutes. So you'd basically be sat there for 3.5 minutes waiting for him to come out so we can kill him. Whereas if you start the mission, what Zola's going to do at like 5 to the hour, it only adds 5 seconds on and then 2.5 minutes. So you basically save a minute by playing replays to manipulate the time here. So as long as you start it before the hour, ideally as close to it as possible, then you're good.
Yeah, so we also want to start this mission with a rampage going on, because then when the rampage expires, we get put on mission 0, well on a mission, and this is like extra handy. Let me try to get 30k of ammo here, just for laughs.
Yeah, so the way nice. So that was very impressive.
It absolutely doesn't matter, but it was just like a
just
flex.
The most insane flex I've ever seen. I respect it. So as you can see, Zolaa now has 30,000. Well, it actually says around 10,000, but it's actually 30,000 AK bullets. And the way that works is, so nothing is really infinite in programming, right? And that, you know, there's no such thing as infinite in this. And it works the same in GTA. So when you grab a rampage, the game pretends that you have infinite ammo to shoot all the guys, but in reality, you just have 30,000 of whatever ammo count it is. So obviously, it's basically infinite, because you would never get rid of 30,000 bullets in 2 minutes. It's not really doable. But if you somehow can smuggle that ammo count out of the rampage, then it just gives you 30,000. And if you end a, I love Claude, by the way. He was really driving down there. Yeah, good old animation.
Really
GTA 3.
drive.
Yeah.
Swinging to the sides when turning.
Yeah.
That's how I usually do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're dodging something in the game. You like move in real life. But yeah, so if you end a rampage, if a rampage ends while you're inside of a replay, you actually get to keep the ammo for it. So you can keep the 30,000 AK bullets, which doesn't matter because we don't need it. But what you can do later is you can use a rocket rampage, which is what this is going to be. And Zolaa is going to attempt to do the same thing, but get 30,000 RPG rounds. And as you can imagine, 30,000 rockets is going to basically allow us to just nuke the rest of the game, essentially. It makes us very overpowered. So Zolaa is picking up this rocket rampage at a very specific time, because usually what we would do in any percent is we would kill Salvatore, and then we would go towards like the ocean on the west side of Portland, and we would mega jump across right to where the next mission is. So, but instead we can't mega jump because again we're gonna take damage if we do that. So Zolaa actually has to drive all the way south, and then all the way across the Callahan Bridge, and then all the way north again to our destination. So that means that we actually need a lot more time on the rampage timer than we usually would. So that's why Zolaa picked it up way later than you usually would in any percent. So then at exactly 30 minutes past 10, in just a few seconds, these guys will spawn and we need to kill all of them. So what you can do is you can use the rockets from the rampage, these 30,000 rockets that we have, to just keep shooting them over and over again. Salvatore spawns in, but he runs towards us and you can just hit him with your car. He's like 70 years old, so he gets hit with the car and he just evaporates immediately. Just every bone in his body gone. But, you know,
Yeah.
that's what he gets for
Now we have
try us.
1 minute to get back to where the next mission starts. So you can start it, wait for the rampage to expire, and then start the mission again, and that will be the last dupe and fail of the run.
Yeah.
So I believe this is like a great time for some messages.
Perfect. I have some catching up to do here. We have $50 from Sir Haxalot with no message, but thank you. We also have $10 from Average Dom saying good luck to Zolaa and greetings to the best commentator, English Ben. We also have $20 here from Mikey saying thanks for teaching me how to mega jump. Here's a little something. A good luck.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so we're just about to start the next mission.
Yeah, pretty much perfectly on time. Got about 10 seconds here.
Getting out of the marker, getting back into the marker.
Yeah. If you are stood in a marker already, you can't actually start the mission again, so you have to like exit the zone and then re-enter it, which is why Zolaa keeps walking back and forth like that. So we started under surveillance twice, and now we can just mega jump, and we die, and it says the mission's failed, but then the mission is actually passed. There we go. So that's under surveillance beaten in like, what, 2 seconds? Jump.
Yeah. Now on to the harder part of the run, believe it or not, because we cannot skip any of the next missions.
Yeah. So
in case someone was mad at me for cheating the game, this is going to be as legitimate as possible, except for this.
Yeah. Except we immediately cheat again right away. And this,
exactly.
you could argue that this is more cheating than anything, because it's basically just like infinite rocket ammo, right?
Yeah.
So if anyone's going to complain about cheating, it's going to be for this, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Grabbing the fast vehicle. Was about to say the fastest, but that's not entirely true.
It's one of the fastest.
Yeah,
It's a really good spawn. The Banshee is really good because it has like really good acceleration. It's pretty fast, and it's pretty like versatile and flexible because it's so short and you can dive through traffic and things like that nicely. So it's a good like all-rounder car. So a lot of people prefer it as like if you could choose anything, you'd take a Banshee most of the time. Yeah. So
unless you're on a very long straight, then you would probably get an Infernus.
Yeah, because it has like slightly higher top speed. Yeah.
Portland in 34 minutes, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, so the RPG rampage there just completely trivializes that mission. You would usually have to chase him in a boat and use the boat guns to shoot this guy down, but you can just shoot rockets right from where you spawn. Mission's done in like 5 or 6 seconds. Very nice. And then this is the classic mission that I always make fun of Watch Mojo for because they said that this was one of the hardest missions. And as you can see, you don't need any kind of... As long as you have 2 hands that are fully working, you are completely fine to do this mission. Yeah, it's not particularly difficult at all. You usually have like a minute and a half left on the timer if you drive well. Like, it's really not that difficult. I don't know what Mojo was playing at, saying that this mission's difficult. All you need to do is have 10,000 hours in the game, and it's easy.
I think the first time I played, I actually failed this mission.
Oh, I mean...
It's
embarrassing.
character building.
Yeah, embarrassing. Maybe Zola was actually like the editor for Watch Mojo at the time, and I've just absolutely...
Yeah, that's totally me.
Yeah.
So the rampage timer is coming up, so I will start spamming replays as soon as I see the 0.
Yeah, so this is going to be the attempt for the rockets as well. So this one is actually more lenient, but it's ultimately random whether you get it or not.
Let's go.
There you go. Nice.
Also committing some road rage on the fly.
Yeah. So that's the important one to get because you can continue the run. It's not like completely over if you don't get 30k rockets, but 30k rockets makes it significantly easier.
Exactly.
Especially with OHKO as well, because you can just shoot people from miles away and not really take any damage from them. But there are backups if you need to.
Also, we are going to... Good, I didn't get a cop star here.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Going to be recording the last replay of the run to commit some more
Arguably
cheating later.
arguably the most broken replay in terms of like general use. So this is exclusive to GTA 3. They patched it in Vice City. And it's called a bribe style replay. So obviously if you pick up a bribe star...
they patched it in Vice City, but they added the close replay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just... they obviously knew that replays were broken in some capacity, but then they just made them worse somehow in Vice City and more broken. Yeah, it's a classic Rockstar. But yeah, so if you pick up a police bribe, the way it works is it takes 1 off your wanted level. So if you have 4-star wanted level, you pick one up, takes you down to 3 stars, etc., etc. But if you pick one up in the replay, you make a replay of one and then play the replay which picks it up because you can pick up the police bribe remotely. Not only that, but then the police bribe is still there. So essentially what you can do is you can just never have a wanted level now for the rest of the game as long as you keep that police bribe. So even if we have 5 stars, which we'll get later on, we can just play the bribe replay and just get rid of our wanted level without having to deal with the cops, which saves so much time in some of these later missions. Because a lot of the later missions, the difficulty is from having a ridiculously high wanted level.
Yeah, shoutouts to Chivo for having his Banshee stolen on the last phone booth.
Yeah. There's always some good memes on it.
Yeah, he just went, oh, I guess it's run over.
Love Chivo. He just sits there and like chilling, listens to Chatterbox. He's like the most chill ever, and then he has like gangster rap in the background. But he also like doesn't even have it through his headphones. He has it like blasting through his speakers into his microphone.
He should apply for ESA tech guys.
It's such a legendary setup. What a stream! Shout out to Chivo. What a guy.
Yeah, so thankfully I have my rockets here. Yeah. So I just shoot a rocket casually into the guy's window because why not?
Yeah. Gotta let him know. And he tries to drive out and just instant rocket. Yeah, so if you didn't have rockets there, those bodyguards would be, you would have to use grenades and you'd have to get quite a bit closer. And then you would potentially be at risk from dying from the bodyguards because they have like AKs and M16s and they'll shoot you. But with the rockets, you can just outrange them and just destroy them.
Now onto arms shortage. You may think this is a hard mission in one hit KO, and when something goes wrong, it certainly is one of the hardest ones.
Yeah, this is one of these missions that's very easy, unless you mess up the strat, and then it just becomes chaos.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of intricacies to this, because you can actually get... So the way the mission is intended to work is there are 3 cartel cruisers that spawn from one side, and then there's a bunch of cartels guys that spawn from behind you, and they're supposed to ambush you at the same time. But you can actually get in a car, and it will, for some reason, trigger the cartel cruisers to spawn quicker. So you can take all of those out, and then turn around and take them all out in like a linear fashion. But if you use rockets and you shoot the cartel cruisers in a specific way, that makes them blow up twice due to a random bug that's in the engine like this. Yes. It can actually cause a double explosion, and it delays the shot for the third one, which then makes it so you have to do it in the intentional way. So Zolaa has been very careful here, making sure to not, get into range. Because they can kill Phil, but with any luck...
Can I get them?
We're just trying to make sure that we don't die, and also, there we go.
Shoutouts to Fulek, looking at this specific container. He's a good friend of mine, and on this mission, after killing the cartel cruisers, he mega jumped onto the container and then fell into water.
Oh, nice.
Lovely.
Unlucky.
Yeah, that's what he gets for applying minor
pretty difficult optimizations.
In one of his first runs ever.
Yeah, grind monkeys.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, so this next mission is
pretty chill.
Yeah, sure, it's pretty chill.
I mean, you can't die unless you really try.
Sure, but many people would argue that it's one of the worst missions in the game, just because of how random it can be. So this is Evidence Dash, and yeah, OHKO, it doesn't really matter. It's just the same as any percent, but in any percent, this mission sucks because there's a bobcat that spawns, and you have to ram into it to get 6 evidence packages off and collect them. But the issue is that the guy who's driving the bobcat just takes a random path, and it's completely random, and where we need to go is at the far southern side of the map. So if the bobcat decides to just drive all the way to the north, you have to chase him all the way to the north and then drive all the way back down to the south to then start the next mission, and you can lose a minute, and it's not your fault at all. Obviously there is some skill to it, it's not completely luck, but yeah, even if you play this mission perfectly, you'll lose 30 seconds to a minute a lot of the time, and it's just stupid. So this is where we need to start the next mission, right here. So ideally, if we can keep the bobcat around here, we'll be fine. There's also a number of other things that make it annoying, sometimes the bobcat can drive into the ocean, and if the bobcat gets destroyed in the water, you just fail the mission immediately. So, very dumb.
Oh, they dropped it again? Okay.
Yeah. This is okay so far. So when you bash into the bobcat for the first time, it gives you a 2-star wanted level, but you can just use the bribery play to get rid of it. So the cops aren't really an issue. And then now the bobcat is starting to drive north, so this is where it might become... It might go from a good evidence dash to a questionable one. We'll see. The issue is, as well, is especially with these roads, is there's no way to turn off. So once the bobcat is on this road, he might just drive all the way north.
Yeah, but he just go into the water and fail the mission for me.
Yeah, just got to be very careful that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we got all the evidence, even though the pattern wasn't the best, because you can't really use the top-down cam to despawn traffic here.
Yeah. I don't even think we mentioned top-down camera, actually.
Not at all. People were confused in the chat, but thankfully you had we found some good souls that explained that stuff.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, if you switch down to the top-down camera in this, you can actually despawn traffic in front of you. So what you'll see Zolaa doing is just mashing between the camera modes to go to the camera that despawns everything like this, and then going back to the normal camera, and you can just despawn traffic.
Yeah, looking backwards also works as well as looking to the side.
Yeah, you can. If you're not looking at traffic, it won't spawn, which is usually the opposite. Things will usually spawn in front of you, but yeah, you got to destroy the car.
You didn't tell me about the...
Oh, I was too busy explaining stuff, sorry. Yeah, got to go back and torch the car with the evidence inside.
Oh, well.
I mean, that's fine, yeah.
It's not too far.
What you do is when when someone asks you, oh, how did it go? You just go, oh, I got a bad pattern. I just unlucky. Yeah. It's below you as well. Just unlucky. What can we say? Just unlucky.
You might throw it over for donations.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think I can shoot it from here, yeah.
We have $15 here from Rikel saying, I guess the GTA community has to donate. Good luck in the OHKO, Zolaa, and Great British Benjamin. Did I hear we raised 69,696 almost? Nice.
Nice. Are you gonna blow this thing up, or?
Nah, I'm just chilling. I'm waiting for more donations.
Oh yeah. Just
okay, this time.
Back.
Hey. We also have another $25 donation here from Life saying just nice.
Nice.
Nice. Dude, nice. Oh, yeah, so...
I was just unlucky. What can we say?
yeah, the pattern was awful.
Perfect execution.
Reminds me of... yeah, perfect execution. Reminds me of that one time where I was on PB pace in regular any %, and I was on Grand Theft Auto. So I went into the dodo, and I just made my way into the construction
Oh, I've done that before. Yeah.
without triggering
the
van.
cutscene. Yeah, I've done that before. And then the first time I did that, there's a really good clip on my channel. I realized, I think like my chat yelled at me or something. And I tried to drive back, and I landed in the building next to the airport, and it has no roof. So I landed inside, but then I was completely trapped inside because it has walls all around it, but no roof. So I fell inside, and I was just stuck. And I was like, well, this, not to be dramatic, but this might be the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Shout out to the one person in chat that said this is a world record pace. Not anymore.
No, don't say that. People will turn off. This is world record pace. Right now.
This is
so.
record
Yeah,
pace.
tell your friends, tell your mum and dad. This is the most insane pace we've ever seen. I've never seen a faster run like this in my life.
I mean, that's kind of true because you're not really into one-hit KO things.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. This is insane pace. Everyone should be watching right now. So this is a strat that you can do here. These enemies have like a patrolling state, like a guarding state, and then once you get into a certain radius, they have a state that basically tells them to start attacking you. And if you play a replay as they're transitioning from state 1 to state 2, yeah, I think you're good.
Oh, okay, I can just exit the vehicle right now.
Yeah. So if you play a replay during that like animation, it will actually reset them to the previous animation. So as you see, what Zola did is as soon as they started aggroing on, then all that you do is you play any replay, it doesn't matter, so you can just like double tap F1, and they just go back to guarding, so it looks like they stop aggroing to you, basically. And then you can just run them over and they're not aggressive to you anymore. Which for OHKO is very nice, because otherwise that compound is full with people that want to, one-tap you.
I could have, because I have a lot of different weapons. I think I have an M16 as well equipped on me. So I could have just shot the rocket, come up to the garage, wait for the door to open, and then immediately try to kill the guy. But I tried it several times. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
so.
sometimes they just pre-fire you.
Yeah.
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, so we are going to be finishing this mission right about now.
No. Yeah, so if you are wondering what that kind of like pause thing is, where Zola's pausing the game and then like triggering
Also,
the next
mega
section.
jumps.
Oh, yes, an actual mega jump, because you don't take damage doing this. Wow, incredible. Very, very safe. I like that. But yeah, so if you pause the game in GTA 3, it actually sets your like forward acceleration to 0. And if you enter a mission marker, it needs your acceleration to be 0 before the mission triggers. Or like the marker triggers for the end of missions and stuff like that. So what you can do is you can drive towards a marker, and instead of like manually slowing down, you can just pause and unpause the game really fast, and you can just immediately, the game thinks that you've stopped, so you just stop in the marker straight away, and you can trigger stuff instantly, basically.
That's true.
Yeah.
So this very next mission, we need to like kill a guy, and you have to like, we have to make we have to make the guys think it was a cartel guy. So we need to have the cartel cruiser.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go up here without like the cartel cruiser, you'll fail the mission because it needs to look like you've committed it on behalf of another guy.
Fine. Not at all. I lied, guys. It's fine, we can still be friends. Oh, now I saw the block.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I can defender meet, let's go.
Yeah, that's good, nice. So yeah, this is a new setup found by Guy With, right?
Right.
Yeah. And essentially what you used to do is you used to go up to a higher level and you could still shoot through the floor. But Guy found a setup that makes you so you can just instantly, as soon as you spawn in Kenji, you can just shoot him right through the floor immediately, which is nice.
That's true. You might be wondering why I'm not playing any replays, especially the bribe replay. That is because a very unfortunate thing happened during a marathon run of mine, where I started playing replays and I crashed the game.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why there, but if you play replays during that mission at a certain point, you can just crash.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly how it works.
I think it's about when there's a helicopter onto you.
Yeah, so it's best to be safe. You don't really save any time from playing replays anyway, because as soon as you exit the car anyway, you lose your wanted level because you passed a mission, so it doesn't really matter.
So now we are on one of the longest auto-scrollers in the entire game, where we have to get a boat and then get some packages that were going to be dropped onto the ocean. That's where the mission name is A Drop in the Ocean, because it's literally a drop of packages in the ocean.
Wow, that is incredible from Rockstar.
Yeah.
That is 200 IQ mission naming. How did they come up with that?
No idea.
I wish I was that intelligent. Yeah, so this is literally just waiting for the plane to drop the packages. As long as you're on time here for the last one, it doesn't really matter. So probably do some messages.
Right.
All right, let's do it. I mentioned before that we have some bid wars coming up, one of them being for Dark Souls coming after this. And Big John, as the name, is back in the lead thanks to an anonymous $101 donation.
Nice.
And the comment for that says, Steely Wheelie Automobile. We also have a $75 donation here from Chillix with no comment, but thank you anyway so much, both of you. Again, we do have two bid wars going on right now. The first one is for the character name. Big John's in the lead, but Combustion is not far behind. But if you won't like one of the lower ones, we also have Dark Oak Biz, Coco Game, and Chuck Testa in there. But I don't know if you want to try and get those up or if you want to focus on the two far ahead. There's some good options there. And then we have Celeste coming up later today with Cute Cat now being the blindfold in the lead. But you can also donate towards Aliens, Pug Dog, Lotso, or Sully if you want to see those blindfolds used instead. So keep those donations coming in. Keep trying to push us towards 80K for our last milestone today. I believe in you, chat. We can do this.
Yeah, good stuff. So plane's going to come down in like 10 seconds, but as I say, you're waiting for the packages anyway, so as long as you're in time for the last one, you could like miss this timer, it doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, so this is going to be like a big showcase of how the bribery play is so good, because as soon as you get like a scaling wanted level based on how many packages that you get, because you're getting them before the police gets them, because they like, they're onto you and they know that, it's an illegal drop.
Yeah, there are 6 packages, and you guys should guess how many wanted stars I'm going to get here.
Yeah. If you think it's 6, you're wrong. It's 5. We got you.
And I think it was scaled down for the mobile and definitive releases.
Oh yeah, you get 4 stars in definitive because 5 stars too hard. Yeah.
Speaking of hard, getting onto the pier from this boat is going to be hard as well.
Yeah. So usually in any percent, you can make use of a mechanic. Once you get rid of all the wanted stars, you can just fling yourself at the pier, sorry. And as long as the boat is near the pier and you get off and you hit the water, it actually teleports you to the jetty, right? And that sounds like a great thing. Ooh, that was Claude almost snapped his ankle there. That was almost bad. Nice mega jump, good. Yeah. So usually you can make use of that mechanic if you're in any percent, but it actually does like a bit of damage to you. So Zola would die if they went to try that. So not good, can't do that. So instead you've got to actually try and manually get the boat into a good place and jump without taking any damage, which is surprisingly more difficult than it looks. Like, it's not the easiest thing, but it was very well done. And now we're into Shoreside, which is arguably the hardest segment of the game for sure, especially in any percent, because we're going to be grabbing a vehicle called the Dodo, which is a plane in this game that was never intended to be flown, or at least on release it was never intended to be flown. So the controls are all messed up, and yeah, we're going to make use of it, because obviously flying is very fast compared to driving, especially with all these missions that are making us go from one island to the other. Like, we have to go all the way back to Portland at some point, so flying is much more beneficial. But flying the Dodo effectively and quickly without blowing it up or, dying or anything is like a whole skill set of its own. So you definitely need to practice it a lot if you want to get into GTA 3 at a high level. It's tough.
Yeah, so we're on the way for the Dodo now, going through the bridge that was, I guess it was repaired or something. Yeah, GTA 3 always has some excuses for why you can't go to a certain island. Yeah. Because the first bridge was blown up in the cutscene, in the opening one, and this one was just like in maintenance or something. Yeah. Yeah, so we are going to the airport because there's the plane that has some packages inside of it, apparently, allegedly, and there are also some. I think it's the Colombian cartel guys.
Yeah, they're like defending it.
Yeah.
And that bridge is actually on a cycle based on when you pass the previous mission. So you'll always make the bridge cycle as long as you're quick enough after beating the previous mission. So, gotta kill these guys. As you can imagine, being inside of a car is far more beneficial because you can just run them over and the car will take the brunt of the damage for you. And then, yeah, here's the dodo. So we need to trigger, because there's a van here that we need to look at to say, like, you know, the drugs aren't here. Where are they going to be? Panlantic construction. I wonder where that is.
Oh,
now we go to the
luckily
Panlantic
there's a
construction
construction yard in Staunton Island. Who says that?
Yeah.
How does Cloud know?
You would think that they would remove the obvious advertising from their illegal drug operation, wouldn't you? But nope, apparently not. So yeah, we instantly solved the crime here. And yeah, so we need to get across to Staunton, which is where the construction company is. And the fastest way to do that is with the dodo. And yeah, zolaa is making this look very easy. Trust me, especially when it comes to landing this thing, it is not. The physics are awful. The controls are terrible. Because you're basically acting as like a counterbalance. So usually in GTA, if you want to go up, you want to press up, right? But if you do that, you will instantly plummet to the ground. So the way you go up is by pressing nothing, and the way you go forward is by pressing down. If that doesn't make any sense to you, that's because it doesn't make any sense
Important
at all.
part here, I have to mega jump.
Oh yeah.
I'll play a replay.
Yeah, smart to do that ahead of time.
Let's go.
Nice,
Damn it.
that was very good. Yeah, if zolaa dies there, that's like 4 minutes down the drain. So
That's
very
true.
good.
I will need to like get my weapons back as well as
Yeah, that's rough.
start the mission again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this plane is like ultra light. It's like I think it may be faster to like just turning it around by yourself.
Yeah, it's so slow to turn, and it like bounces and stuff if you hit things. It's just huge pain. But yeah, so we need to go back to Donald now to finish the mission.
Bad RNG.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Hopefully, yeah, this is what I meant about the bouncing. You can make contact with the tiniest thing, like a curb, and you can just flip the entire thing over. It's so annoying to deal with.
I'm not sure if I can fly over the park now, so I'll just take the road.
I think you'd be okay, but I think it's good to play safe. You know, why not?
Yeah.
You're already doing an extremely risky run, so
That's
you
true.
may as well just taxi it around. It doesn't save that much time.
Yeah, normally I would fly over the park and I would like sort of crash land near the place I need to like end the mission.
Yeah, there are some like they're called crash landings, but they're very like calculated crash landings. They're very safe to do usually, but they do have some risk involved. So yeah, zolaa is capping her speed intentionally because if you go too fast, you'll start taking off, which is obviously bad because we need to be on the ground to end this mission. So let's make a jump there.
And let's start the next mission. Actually, no.
Yeah,
Because
don't do
this
that.
is-
Don't do that.
Because the next mission here is escort service. That mission is absolutely not mandatory for the any percent run.
Yeah, I have started that mission before mid-run.
I never, but I started gone fishing.
Yeah.
Instead of-
Instead.
the next raid mission after evidence dash, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very important to the mission order. It sounds trivial, but it's you've been doing the last couple of missions there, and the second you finish them, you go straight in again. So it's surprisingly easy to just muscle memory walk in, and then you have to somehow fail escort service, and it's just it's a pain. Yeah.
Trying to land in the compound again.
Yeah. So this mission is bait. This one is like entirely reliant on AI. So it's kind of random, but there are things that you can do to make the AI basically behave a little better. And the first thing that you can do is you can actually touch the dodo on the ground, and for some reason that like changes their pathing. I don't know exactly how it works, but it makes them basically follow you more consistently, essentially.
I'll try to touch the dam instead of touching the grass.
Yeah. Yeah, you can take off and immediately touch the grass right outside where we're going to be, or you can touch the dam, which is a bit faster, but it's a bit riskier because you do it at a higher speed. So it's a little more difficult to pull off.
Well, let's see it.
Yeah. So this is called dodo bait. So usually you would drive around and you would like bait all these guys into a compound and then kill them. So there's like 2 optimizations here. The first thing that you can do is you can get all 3 of them at once and then kill them all at once at the end, which is a lot faster, rather than going to 1 and then taking them to the trap, 2 taking them to the trap, etc. And then also you can use the dodo to trigger them because their trigger zones have like basically infinite verticality. So even if you're 300 feet in the air, they will still trigger to you because you've gone over them. So what you can do is you can take a specific flight path with a dodo all the way over to trigger all of the guys at once. Very nice, that looks good. And then you can land in the compound. But let me tell you, this is really difficult. Like, the landing here, where you have to trigger the last guy, do a 180 turn, which is hard enough to do anyway, but at this speed, it's even harder. And then land immediately in the compound without like crash landing and losing your dodo is really tough.
Okay, this is looking good so far.
Yeah, I'll let you
Now
concentrate for that.
Now to lose the speed, so I can land in the place. Okay, not looking too good. I'm alive. Yes.
Oh, I get out though.
Do I want to get out though?
Well, I mean, get out as in like get out of the grass section is what I mean.
This is not looking too good because I have those guys.
Yeah, now they're gonna ram into you.
And the other ones as well, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not out of their cars, or are they?
Yeah, if you
They're
get
still in their cars. They're still in their cars.
that's
This is fine.
fine.
This is fine.
Okay.
This is fine.
Okay. Just hope to God that you don't get shot now. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And the third guys as well.
With any luck, these AI guys will take them out. Oh well, and then, and then just like that, I don't even know who shot you there, but
No
whoever it is
idea,
just locked
man.
onto you immediately. Yeah.
I can
So-
do car bait, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm surprised, not to be, negative Nancy or anything, but the fact that you got this far without getting memed somehow
Oh,
is pretty
yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
I mean, I would have died if I had 100 HP as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, OHKO didn't matter there. Like, if you blow up inside of a vehicle, it's instant death no matter what. So,
Yeah.
So we need to get some, this is like the backup if you, oh God. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so you can use fills after you complete arm shortage. You
Oh,
can
it's not
buy,
bad.
you can buy rockets 5 at a time.
I'll take them.
You only,
10.
yeah, 10 is enough for the rest of the round. So it's important to remember though, they're 25,000 per 5 rockets. So you can't just go nuts and buy like 50 because you actually need $500,000 to start the last mission. So if you run out of money, then you're gonna have to like grind it later on, which is obviously very slow. So,
Yeah, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
With the firefighter submission,
yeah.
where when you play a replay, you extinguish a fire, basically.
Yeah, and you can just like chain that infinitely to complete firefighter in like 2 minutes, basically. Yeah. So
Yeah.
messages while we drive back.
Yeah, we might as well hear some like messages or something.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. We have a big one here. Scaname donated $156.
Wow.
And a comment says, funny meme number. I'm sure you can all guess what the total was for this one when that came in.
Very nice.
We also have $20 here from Popper saying $5, $10, $20 train. I like trains. How about it? Do you think we can get a donation train going and get some of those bid wars running up?
Yeah, we're only 500 away from 70K, which is huge. The good thing about celebrating 69K as well is you can also make the meme, but then you're also really close to the next milestone, right? So you can just be like, almost at 70K now.
Win-win situation.
Yeah, exactly. We stay winning here. That's what I'm saying. Right, so
The bridge is going up, so I will be able to show you a certain trick.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for this. This is tricky.
I will. Guess I'll go now.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. So
I would never go for that in a marathon. Never in a million years.
Yeah. So for some reason the collision is still there in the replay and can like kind of overflow into the real life for some reason. But I have to like keep spamming the button.
Yeah, you have to mash at like a perfect pace. Otherwise, if you mess up even once, the collision just goes from underneath you and you just drown.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have enough money for rockets, and so that was a really dumb risk. But I have a ton of respect for you for doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you'd have died, I would have been like, I mean, I wouldn't have done that,
Yeah.
Obviously.
You're
Yeah,
the smart one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive. So yeah, so the car route that you take is it's pretty simple. We just basically like drive in an S all around, and you'll see car bait is pretty easy. It's just obviously quite a bit slower than dodo bait. But losing the dodo isn't the biggest deal because there's another dodo in the airport just to the south of us, so we can get that for the next mission, and it's all good.
Yeah. Kind of sad that well, was it really my fault though? The guys weren't cooperating at all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be someone in the GTA community that's like,
Well, yes, it was your fault because you messed up the landing, and if you didn't mess up the landing and play perfectly, then it would have gone fine.
Kinda true.
Yeah. It was unfortunate. It wasn't unlucky. It was unfortunate. That's what I go with.
Yeah.
Whenever I make a mistake and die, I'm like, that's just unfortunate.
I didn't like the way I started approaching the landing.
Yeah.
It felt weird.
Yeah.
So now we've got a lot of time to kill.
Yeah, this is where it becomes slow because the actual drive isn't too bad, but having to wait for these guys is a real pain.
Cloud is just chilling in the car, as you can see. He doesn't have his hands on the. It's like
Yeah,
that meme. Shut. I'm listening to. Yeah, shut up. I'm listening to. You can spot it, kind of.
Shut up! I'm listening to Paralyzer by Finger 11.
Yeah. What's the world record for any percent one hit KO? It's 110.44 by me.
That's like 30 seconds slower than my regular any percent 100 HP run. That's I need to go back to GTA 3 before people start embarrassing me.
Okay, now I can exit and help the guys.
Yeah, is if you like exit your vehicle while these guys are driving towards you, they will like spot you and they'll drive to the dam or whatever it is and like, you know, run away and not fall for the trap, and that'll fail the mission. But if you, as soon as they're like in the trap, like they, you know, their markers like disappear and go green instead, then they're in the trap at that point, so you can just nuke them with the rockets. And it's all good.
That's true. Shout out to that levitating tree.
Yeah. So now we can just head down here and just launch ourselves. Nice.
Very
And then
cool
there's just a
indeed.
dodo right here.
Yeah, normally if I didn't mess up bait, I would just have the dodo.
Yeah, you can
from
just
the
fly
mission.
straight there. But it's not really a big deal. It's right here, so.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so time for now. A lot of people would say, if not like evidence dash, a lot of people say Espresso to go is pretty rough. At least casually speaking, it's probably the hardest mission in the game. Because you have to destroy a bunch of like coffee stalls that are actually like hidden drug stalls. And there's only one of them that is marked on the map. So if you start this mission completely blind, you have to go all around the map destroying things with a reasonably tight limit and the time limit, sorry. And the game just doesn't tell you what to do. Like it just says there are stalls, good luck. And it's the entire map that you've got to go around. So a lot of people struggle with this mission. So what you would usually do is you would go like, you know, around the map before the timer starts and go and map it all out, you know, on like a piece of paper, you know, where you have your cheats written down from back in the day. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. But obviously in reality, the positions are fixed. So as soon as you know where they are, the mission becomes extremely trivial. And also with the rockets, you can just use them to just shoot them from in a really efficient position.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to go to Portland first, because it's the far eastern island, and then we're going to head west to Staunton and then to Shoreside, and we're going to finish in Shoreside and then grab another dodo and fly back for the next mission. So it's all completely planned out, the route. So we're going to head all the way to Portland, which is like the furthest away section, and then there is actually a Banshee in the showroom coming up here, which is like a fixed spawn. So we can crash land the dodo down here and then grab the Banshee, which we're then going to use for the rest of the mission, ideally.
360 for the fans. Let's
Nice,
go.
look at that.
Also a hidden package just for you guys.
Just insane flex. Yeah,
So-
there's like a whole new level of skill. Like some people don't know how to fight a dodo, but Zola just like does backflips for the fun of it.
Yeah. And can't land in the compound at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's the difficult part. But if you backflipped into the compound, you would have been fine.
Oh yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
I'll remember that one.
So if you're doing this mission casually, the timer doesn't start until you destroy the first stall. So
360?
you can
No, not really.
just can't help yourself. We need to start doing
Yeah.
flips now everywhere. But yeah, so you can destroy the things with explosives, or you can also just drive into the stall and just magnetize to every car on the way, apparently, as well. Yeah. Who put those cars there? But yeah, so you can just bump into them. The tricky part is that if you hit a stall hard enough that you destroy it with your car, it does a ton of damage to your car as well. So you need to keep an eye on your car health. And the tricky thing is about that is that in GTA 3 on the PC version, you know how if you guys have played GTA and you like take damage in your car and it starts smoking and it starts like lightly smoking, then it goes like dark gray and then it sets on fire, right? In GTA 3 on PC, they didn't implement those like, what do you call it? Like the smoke particles or whatever. So as you can see, Zola's car is smoking right now, like lightly smoking. The car could be on 80% HP or it could be on 5%, and we have absolutely no idea. So you've got to kind of track what you've been bumping into. So because Zola crashed quite a lot in Portland, I would say, you know, kind of try and be careful. It goes without saying, but yeah. Personally, of course, as a perfect player, I would never crash anyway, but, you know.
Yeah, getting rid of the door here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The Banshee door, for some reason, is like very particular. You can't really just like grind against a wall to knock it off. You have to like have it open and then like smack in at 45 degrees to knock it off. I don't know why that's the case, but it's just the way the car's modeled. I think it's just a bit weird. So as you can see, if you drive and take the correct routes, you can just nuke these very, very quickly. And this one in the park is kind of tricky because it's quite far away. It's not the easiest shot to hit. Especially with the rockets, you have like, the reticle is so large that, you know, it's kind of tricky to, whereas with a sniper rifle, you have like a dot in the middle that tells you exactly what you're going to shoot. Yeah. And then final stall here, and then we'll be heading to Shoreside, where there are 2 more stalls. One of them is, that went right through it, apparently. Nice. You'll still be fine, I think.
Yeah, I'll switch to a different car and destroy the last stall with a car.
Yeah, good shout, yeah. Because Zola still needs 1 more rocket for Sam, which is the second to last mission. You can technically get one on the mission, but we're going to be going to a completely different place where we don't get that spawn. So you need a rocket for this mission. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Not good. Yeah, this is also pretty bad because there's not any traffic or anything as well.
Yeah, for some reason there are no cars at all.
There we go. That's one heck of a spawn to get. Yeah, that's fastest car in the game right here.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Especially on straights.
Yes, very good.
So there's this as a reason why we are going to Portland first. Aside from like routing purposes, because in GTA 3, as we already saw previously, we are not liked by the mafia anymore. So whenever we get into their territory from now on, from like the midway point of the game, they will just start shooting at us with shotguns. And for some reason during this mission they don't have shotguns. They have like Uzi, I think.
Yeah.
I'll just come closer. Yeah, let's go. Now onto the last stall. After I crash into the last stall with a car, I will go to grab a dodo.
Yeah.
For what is probably one of the hardest missions in the run, I believe, because especially when you're performing it in front of a large crowd, your hands can get like shaky and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm a little anxious about that, but we'll see.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I never missed it in the practice room. Why would I say that?
What could possibly go
Yeah.
wrong? Yeah, so that's supposed to go down. As you can see, you can do it with like 3 or 4 minutes left on the timer. So as long as you know what you're doing.
Even with crashing into like 10 cars.
Yeah, and like blowing up your vehicle as well. Yeah. Yeah. So now it's time for another dodo flight, and I think we can get a few messages in between.
Yeah. That's
Perfect. We have $25 here from Sir Tank saying, thank you for this week and hats off to the technical team / volunteers for another quality edition. And then we also have $10 here from Aqua saying, hi Zola.
Hi, Aquas.
Hi, Aquas. I'm here too. How rude.
Yeah, how could he?
How rude. You spend all this time commentating, doing stuff, and just don't get any recognition. Where's my attention?
Hi, Ben.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's kind of fun. I'm just chilling playing GTA 3. One of the hardest games.
How did bait go? Sorry, that was toxic. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm just angry because Aquas didn't say hello to me.
Well, Aquas, do your job. Send another donation.
Yeah.
And greet Ben.
Yep. So, Sam, second to last mission. So we need a rocket for it because we need to shoot down a plane that's going to be coming over. You're intended to take a boat and go to a specific point at the end of the airport and shoot it down over the water and then use the boat to pick up the packages. But what you can do is, if you're an absolute gamer, you can go to the dam, which is at the other side of Shoreside, and you can shoot it down over a minute early, essentially. But the problem is that with the lineup, if you're a second too late, the packages will go over the side of the dam, and they're really difficult to retrieve. Or if you're too early, you'll shoot them onto the other side, which is the ocean, and you don't have a boat, so you can't really pick them up. So yeah, the shot is pretty tricky, but there is a reference to do it. It's with practice, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very flashy strat for sure. And that cop car could have been pretty bad because if you hit a car as you're about to take off here, you'll just have no speed. And cop cars usually don't despawn when you re-roll the traffic like that. They're an exception. I think it's all emergency vehicles, right? They're like connected.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that could have been really bad if Zola hit that car there. And that would have just been unlucky because there's not a lot you can do about that. So we need to get to the dam and line up the shot and everything before 117 on the timer? Something like that?
Yeah.
118?
I mean, my reference is at 117. I look at the minimap when the plane starts shaking, the marker for it. I look at the screen where the crosshair is.
Okay, that's a unique reference.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. But if it works, it works. There's like a million different references for this that people
Can I
have come
find
up with
a
ideas.
good car? Yeah, Pony will do just fine.
So ideally here you want a car, and not only a car, but like a low hanging car that you can pick up packages with on the ground. So we want to shoot the plane down so it like comes out onto here, right?
Yeah.
But then we would have to run over and like manually pick up the packages with Claude's feet, which is kind of annoying to do. So instead, if you get a car and you park it in a certain place, then you can use it to just run over all the packages. And if you get a low down car, like a Pony, for example, that has like really low suspension or whatever, I don't know. Like Claude is sat low enough that you can trigger to pick up all the stuff. Yeah, you can basically pick up everything like really quickly, which is nice. Because as soon as you shoot down the plane, the auto scroller part of it stops. So speeding that up is good. So Zola's going to stand in a specific place, as you can see, and look at a specific point for like a visual reference here. And then with any luck, I'll let you concentrate. That looks good. Nice. You definitely hit it. Hopefully the packages will all be in the right places.
Oh, one fell down, but two fell down. That's fine. That's fine.
That's okay.
I should replay.
Yeah. So if they fall onto this bit, as long as you're quick enough, you can actually pick them up. And then the only tricky part is you have to go around because you can't jump back over the ledge. Do you know about the clip to go in? Yeah, very nice, very nice, very nice. So yeah, you can actually, someone found that you can actually clip through the top of this. So if you spam jump enough, you can just clip right through, which is very nice. Yeah, good. Very well backed up. You have nightmares sometimes about people not knowing that backup and just like being like, oh, well, run's dead or messing it up or
There's
whatever.
a clip of Kamix that's titled "The First and Only Useful Clip in GTA 3 History."
Yes.
That's it.
I had a run once where I got all the way to Sam here and I sprinted off that ledge and it just launched me into the ocean before.
Wow. You too, man?
Yeah, I've had that before. Yeah, classic. So now we've got all the packages. We just need to fly back.
Yeah.
Fog is not ideal, so Zola's going to do another weather skip, as we saw. At the 59 past the minute, it's going to be a second before it goes on to the next weather cycle. So you can mash replays in a certain way, and as you can see, we've skipped through the fog, so the fog is completely gone. Because fog during dodo driving, when you need to see where buildings are so you don't hit them and stuff like that, is really annoying. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
Now we're on to finish this mission and start the next one.
Yeah.
We might as well hear a donation.
Perfect. We have an anonymous $10 donation here with no comment, but it is going towards the Dark Souls incentive of naming the character Vegemite. Now, Vegemite is one of the options that's quite far behind, so if you also want to see Vegemite, get your donations in for that. Or maybe you just want to try and get Combustion back in front of Big John, which is currently in the lead. There's only roughly about $20 separating the two right now, so it's hard to declare a winner just yet. Keep those donations coming because it's coming up right after this. You're running short on time if you want to influence it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Dark Souls, personally. Very excited. Yes.
Yeah, so as it turns out, our love interest has been kidnapped and our friend has been killed. And now we are on to the last mission of the game, called The Exchange, where we are supposed to exchange $500,000 for Maria.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, we are going to be betrayed.
Double-crossed again.
Yeah, double-crossed.
Yeah. So this mission is usually very heavy in terms of gunfights. So you might imagine, like, how on earth are you going to get through this with only 1 HP? But as we all see in GTA 3, there are many different ways to tackle a mission. So Zola is going to fly the Dodo in here, and then she is also going to get a cartel cruiser.
Oh, that's
which is
amazing.
Conveniently parked. That was a very nice landing, by the way. Good job. So yeah, this cartel cruiser is good because as soon as we spawn in, when we start this mission, we're going to get shot by a bunch of dudes. So what we want to do is we want to park it in a specific way so we can immediately gain control of Claude and straight away enter the vehicle, because otherwise we would just get nuked and we would just die so fast. And then we're actually going to do a specific thing called crash change. And this is another thing that's like kind of complicated on how it works. But essentially, Catalina, who's the lady that betrayed us all the way at the start of the game and is going to betray us again here and double cross us, we need to destroy her helicopter with her in it to beat the game, right? So the helicopter has a whole bunch of like flags set to it that basically it's like explosion proof, it's bulletproof, you know, so on and so forth. So you can't just blow it up right away. Like you'll see it spawn in a second. If you just shot a rocket at it, nothing would happen. Like that's the helicopter that we need to blow up. But if you shoot a rocket at it, nothing happens. Except for the fact that if you shoot a rocket and it collides with it inside of a replay, the replay removes all of the proofs. So it's no longer explosion proof and you can destroy it. So what Zolaa is going to do is she's going to fly we're not going to enter the dam as you're intended to and, you know, go and fight all these dudes. Instead, we're just going to head all the way to like the end of the mission. So we're just going to skip the entire thing. And this is it's a fairly easy trick, but you only get a couple of tries to do it. So I'll let you concentrate.
Okay.
But essentially how it works is you make a replay standing with the helicopter landed once you've picked up the rockets. Nice package. And yeah, so you grab the rockets, the helicopter's going to land in just a second. You make a replay that's around like a second or two long, and you shoot the rocket and play the replay with correct timing, and with any luck, the helicopter will explode, and it'll be the end of the run. Nice.
Okay,
let's go.
I'll need to get ready on time.
Yeah, you get ready on time.
Time.
GG.
Oh, okay. Exactly 10 minutes behind my world record. Mostly because of the bait and some other minor inconveniences, like forgetting to blow up the car on evidence dash.
Just unlucky.
Yeah, that was like the car's fault. It was supposed to like explode on its own.
Yeah.
I had to explode it with my mind.
Yes.
Yeah, but I forgot just. I had like other stuff to do. So yeah, the game can crash. That's why it's the strat is named Crash Change. I guess it's time for shoutouts. Yeah. So thanks a lot, Ben, for being.
You're very welcome.
Me.
Thanks for having me.
You have a great GTA 3 tutorial up on YouTube. That's how I got into the game.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to the whole GTA crew behind me.
Woo!
Shoutouts to the Polish Speedrunners Discord server. Tak. Who do I want to shout out else? Who else?
The GTA community, of course, at home. Everyone watching, donating.
Yeah.
As well, thank you very much.
Shoutouts to everyone watching, everyone donating, and well, up next are Dark Souls, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tali, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
All right. Before I let you go, though, we have one more donation here. $10 from Aquas.
Your game
saying,
crashed.
It did.
Hi, Eben.
Hi. There we go. That's what I wanted. Good
There
stuff.
we go. Now you're all done. Now you can go. But yeah, that is right. Coming up next, we have Dark Souls. So we will be taking a quick intermission to get that set up. But don't go anywhere because we will be right back.